Hi guys, DevilHunterXYZ, and I usually haven't been doing much vlogs lately, but I guess this is another topic I want to discuss at this point. Recently there's been a new policy change that's going to happen with YouTube, and it's kind of starting to roll out at this point. Um, but as of right now with YouTube, the thing that they have now is the YouTube has to enforce a COPPA law, the known as the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. So, in case you haven't seen it, like whenever you go to upload videos, you'll see a message, and pretty much at that point, it requires you to start marking videos that you currently have as either made for kids or not made for kids. And along with those lines, the whole reason behind it, at least from what I can somewhat gather from information, is they just want to try to protect kids' safety, kids' privacy from like unwanted videos out there. Because there have been, I guess, over the course of the last few years, there's been videos about kids more or less kind of being abused, being put into inappropriate situations, dangerous situations. You know, they just don't want them to be well known to the public. You know, they want to try to protect them, which I kind of guess goes along with the lines of YouTube releasing the YouTube Kids app a few years back. And I mean, that was kind of the thing. They were trying to make a YouTube app made specifically for kids, for just kid-friendly content and nothing inappropriate or mature for them. But I mean, of course, that also kind of brought up issues as well. Well, mainly the big thing is that they had the whole they call it the Elsa Gate, if I remember correctly, which essentially it was a string of videos from different channels that put together kid-friendly content when they're really not. You know, they're basically just um, outrageous videos disguised as kid videos to try to trick the algorithm. Of course, they've been cracking down on it. I think they mostly got that somewhat situated. So I don't really know too much about that. But I mean, for this issue though with COPPA, what it means though is you have to mark your videos as either being kid friendly, made for kids itself, or not. For the most part, you are getting messages, or at least I'm still getting messages really, saying that you had to go into your channel settings to kind of implement whether or not you want to. Well, you had to either mark as you can mark the entire channel as either made for kids or not made for kids, or you can choose to review each individual video, whether or not it falls into a category. Of course, in my case, I I had to go with just marking everything as not made for kids because well, for reasons I'm gonna explain it a little bit, but I mean, the other option was just to review each individual video, which is not a possibility in my case because I have, last I checked, over 2,600 videos. I mean, I just don't have the time to sit through every video that I've done. That would take me months just to review it if it's even kid friendly or not. I mean, I know for a fact most of my videos kind of more or less fall into that borderline where it might be kid friendly, but it might not be. So I'm not 100% sure on that. But of course, YouTube's algorithm, or YouTube, is gonna implement a system that kind of automatically does it for you. I don't know how accurate that really would be in the long run if it really follows under the COPPA Act, or the COPPA law, whatever. But I mean, this kind of brings up a weird monetization problem now. I mean, now the fact that it's even more harder to monetize. So I mean, not only do we have the current guideline restrictions, or the current uh, policies for YouTube for you to monetize, like the fact that you had to have 1,000 subscribers and you had to have 100,000 hours of watch time to even be considered to into the for YouTube monetization. But now you had to also comply with these laws as well, amongst really also the other current issues with YouTube monetization, with the videos being demonetized for the most part. Yeah, so like I said, you kind of, I guess most content creators, at least in the next, by starting next year, they're going to be kind of in a weird gray area. Because, at least, so I'm trying to get some information here. If your videos are marked as made for kids, I'm trying to find out here, hold on. Okay, what happens When your content is set as made for kids, starting in January, we will limit the data we collect on made for kids content to comply with the law. This means we'll be disabling certain features like comments, notifications, and others. Most importantly, we won't serve personalized ads on kids' content as required by the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act and or other applicable laws. Not serving personalized ads on kids' content may result in a decrease in revenue for some creators who mark their content as made for kids. We recognize that this won't be easy for some creators, but these are important steps to take to ensure compliance with COPPA and other applicable laws. Yes, so if your videos are marked as made for kids, the big problem is the fact that you won't be able to monetize those videos anymore. And I know it'd be kind of a weird thing as to why in the world would you even then mark made for kids on your videos. Unfortunately, YouTube has the final say as to if the videos are considered made for kids. And really, what is considered made for kids, it's kind of in the same issue where it's like in a blurred line as to what really is considered made for kids. I mean, the only thing I got is this kids at the most basic level is anyone under the age of 13 that's considered kids. But I mean, what would be considered kid-friendly content? I guess stuff like maybe something educational, maybe something that's kind of lighthearted, like maybe some kind of happy-go type music or stuff like that. I guess what you probably see like on a kids TV show, more or less, like maybe PBS. But I mean, that would be more or less considered kid-friendly content. But I mean, it's not really quite clear as to what really is considered that. Like they never really gave me any examples. Like I don't think I see really any examples for the most part. And I mean, I guess it's a kind of a troubling thing for. I guess more or less, it's kind of a troubling thing for content creators who kind of do. I guess content that's is considered kid friendly, or like maybe like tutorial based videos and stuff like that. I mean, I guess that would kind of more fall into the made for kids territory. So at that point, that means no ads would be showing on their video. Yeah, so it's going to be a rough time for those types of channels. And of course, it's going to be an even more awkward time for channels that are kind of in between, like me. You know, kind of some videos might be considered kid friendly, some might not be, but we're not sure where we necessarily fall under. But on the other hand, though, you don't want to fall too far in the other direction, as you know, doing nothing but non kid friendly videos. You know, kind of going like over the top rants, cursing, inappropriate stuff for just the entertainment value, but also trying to make money off of it. But the problem with that is you also could be in risk of being demonetized on those videos. So it's kind of like in a you had to kind of try to find a weird balance that doesn't tip the scales in either favor, where you need to somehow create content that is not kid friendly, but it doesn't go over the top. Like, I guess maybe in my case, maybe playing T-rated games, maybe throwing some cursing every now and then, but that's what I could probably fathom out of all of this. Granted, yes, I do understand that YouTube has to follow these laws now. And, you know, I mean, it's kind of been more of an ongoing problem, I guess, for kids, trying to make sure the kids are safe while watching or actually being partaken in YouTube content. And I do understand, I do agree that, you know, we still need to have safety for the kids. But I kind of wish YouTube could compensate in a way, or kind of find a different way that doesn't really take away a lot from the content creators. Because, you know, there are obviously just people who make a living off of YouTube, and having these extra laws just makes it even more difficult to monetize. As I mean, heck, I mean, back in the day, I was making decent amount of money. I mean, I always said I could live off of it, but it was like decent amount. As of now, it's like more or less pocket change at this point. And adding more laws just makes it even more difficult, to the point where I think I said it before. If you're doing YouTube just for the sake of trying to make money, just trying to monetize videos, just get some quick cash, then you're more likely in the wrong business, because you're at this point, it's just not going to be a likely chance of you actually succeeding on YouTube. I guess that's why a lot of people are just moving out of YouTube, maybe going to Twitch, possibly even going to Mixer for all I know. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of wish YouTube, in a way, can provide some more features that allow content creators to like help boost revenue in certain ways. I mean, there is sponsorships, there's that's one thing, but I mean, you have to be like a certain subscriber count to even get the best ones out there. But talking about like maybe some other features, like maybe even just upping up the percentage on revenue for current um, monetizable ads, that would be something, or having some other type of feature that can potentially have us gain some more revenue. That would be something I would be all keen for. But at this point now, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's just, we just have to wait and see, honestly, how this new policy, how this new law is gonna hold out, like with YouTube. And all I can say, it's going to be one tough year, 2020 for YouTube. And well, I mean, we just have to wait and see how things will fare out. All right, guys, this is DevilHunterXYZ, and until next time.